Hello and welcome to this demonstration on how to use a web-hosted portal for accessing remote visualization resources, a new exciting feature which comes with ANSYS EKM R15. Today, we will have a look on how to use the web frontend of EKM to create and manage interactive sessions, as well as on how to use them to access simulation tools. After providing appropriate credentials on the login screen, the user interface of ANSYS EKM opens. To access the job submission functions, we select the Applications area. Based on the given configuration of the portal, the user has access to applications of different type. In this case, we have access to 2 applications for submitting a batch job and 2 others for submitting an interactive job. As a first example, we are going to request a plain remote visualization session. After selecting the corresponding icon, the job dialog opens. The next interface allows to specify the details of the job. The available input fields and options are based on the configuration of the system and can be, of course, adapted to other usage scenarios. In this case, we are allowed to choose an application which will be hosted by the interactive session, the queue in which the resources for running the sessions are managed, and the size of the remote visualization window. Note that not only ANSYS applications are supported, but also any other software tool, such as third-party solvers. In this case, we are selecting Remote Desktop as an application, which will produce a plain visualization session. Please also note that in the queue selection we have access to resources which come with a graphic acceleration. After finalizing the dialog, the session will be started on the corresponding queue. After a successful start, the web UI of EKM allows us to connect to the session. In this case, it is based on VNC technology running on a Linux host, but of course other remote desktop technologies and platforms are supported as well. Since we have requested a plain session, we can use a Linux terminal to fire up any software tool which is available in this environment. In this case, let's confirm that the session comes with a graphical acceleration by running a corresponding test application. Of course, the terminal also allows to start a corresponding simulation tool, such as ANSYS Fluent. Now let's stop using this session and go back to the web UI of ANSYS EKM. Back in the web UI, the My Jobs area is listing all jobs which were previously started and are not cancelled or deleted yet. Using these items, I can easily reconnect to the corresponding sessions. For example, observe how I can access a previous instance which is hosting a Workbench session. Let's check the usability of the Workbench applications such as Design Modeler and Meshing. To do so, I have imported the complex model of a landing gear. As you can see, translating, rotating and zooming is executed as smooth as in a local application. The same applies for meshing, even if a relatively fine mesh has been created and displayed. Of course, the observed performance is based on the deployed graphic acceleration. Now let's check out other options. This time, we are going to request a remote visualization session in which an interactive Fluent session is hosted. However, the Fluent session will not be executed on the remote visualization host, but on an HPC environment. Again, we are allowed to select a couple of options. Beside the obvious, I can in particular select 2 queues, one for running the remote session and the other for submitting the Fluent simulation too. Finalizing the dialog will now create another VNC session according to the requested settings. As previously, connecting to the session is straightforward. As we can see, the Fluent session has been already accepted by the queuing system and the interface is ready for interaction. Just to confirm that the simulation tool is running on the HPC resource, let's check the spawned nodes. As this seems to be okay, let's quickly load a model to indicate a typical step in the simulation process. That's it for today. Remember that this is only one aspect of the job submission functions in EKM. Keep an eye open for additional animation on how to use this exciting new capability.